This weekend was one small weekend for a female action film, one giant weekend for the future of all female action films, and that Black Widow movie that's been in the works for a while now. Yes, that's right. For the box office weekend of July 26th to July 28th, Scarlett Johansson's Lucy took down The Rock's Hercules in quite an impressive play. I can't say The Rock is at fault for this movie because it was just recently announced he's going to be starring in action superhero film Shazam for DC. But who I'd blame if it were my decision would be Brett Ratner, because this is quite the fanboy movie, and Brett Ratner pissed off the fanboys a bit when he botched up the final X-Men movie and the original trilogy, The Last Stand. He killed off Cyclops. You can't kill off a main character and not show their death. That's like blue balls for movies, guys. Also in 2014, people have been sort of done with Sword and Sandal flicks, as the second 300 movie made like a third of what the first one made, and there was already a Hercules movie earlier this year that didn't even make a dent in the box office. It went by completely unnoticed. But yeah, Lucy made about $44 million this weekend. Considering the movie had a budget of about $40 million, which means it easily is going to make back its budget. Lucy is directed by Luc Besson, the guy behind Taken, and this is easily one of his film's best weekends since Taken and Taken 2. And it also stars Morgan Freeman in the usual Morgan Freeman role. Now, critics didn't completely fall in love with this one because they say as her brain gained more power, it got a little more ridiculous with time and it was sort of unbelievable, but fans obviously aren't deterred and they find the concept of a female starring action film, which we haven't had in a long time, probably since Salt, interesting. Especially since Scarlett's got all her fanboys from the Black Widow film. Like I said, this is one giant step closer to that film finally being made. Then at number 2, we have Hercules, which was made for a budget of about $100 million, which isn't really great budget considering Lucy was made for less than half of that and made over $10 million more, but it had almost a $30 million weekend, so if it holds, it should be able to make back that amount stateside. And worldwide, The Rock is quite a draw. He's got a lot of fanboys all over the world due to his franchise work in G.I. Joe and Fast and Furious, so there's hope for this film. There's hope that it can make back its money, and like I said, The Rock will get out relatively unscathed. Then at number 3, we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which is going to come in the $16 million range, which is about a 54% fall, which isn't that great, but it's taking direct competition from Lucy and Hercules, and the movie is already at around $172 million total, which means it's going to pass the original Double Days, so this is all around a hit. And at number 4, we have Purge Anarchy, which took about a 64% fall, which sounds bad, but if you consider the fact that the original Purge had a fall in the 70s, it's not that horrible, and the movie's going to come out with about a $9.5 million weekend, and the Purge Anarchy is now at a $52 million total. And this smaller fall means it could possibly overtake the first Purge, which means there's going to be more Purges to come. What's going to happen next, guys? And at number 5, we have Planes, Fire and Rescue, which fell about 50% this weekend for about a $35.5 million total. And clearly this movie is not going to match the amount that its preceder made, which is sort of a surprise hit, and it landed in the $80 million range. So we'll see how this kiddie movie continues to play out. It's probably going to take a gigantic hit when Guardians of the Galaxy comes out next weekend, which is going to cover all of the film-goer categories. And I also wanted to mention number 6, which is Sex Tape, which had a 62% fall for about a $5.7 million weekend, bringing its total to $26.5 million. I feel really bad for Cameron Diaz and Jason Segel because they tried to do something different with this movie. I know Cameron Diaz has been finding success in the raunchy comedy area, but it just didn't work out this time. The movie got horrible reviews, and it's just sort of embarrassing for everyone involved. And then I mentioned number 8, which is And So It Goes, which had about a $4 million weekend, maybe a little more. Again, I didn't even see a single trailer for this film. I couldn't tell you what it's about. I assume it tried to bring in the older crowds, but it seems that they didn't come as called. So you can see the full top 10 weekend right here. That's how everything played out. Summer box office is still in a slump, but it's getting a little better considering Hercules and Lucy had solid debuts this weekend. And next weekend you'll be seeing Guardians of the Galaxy, which is supposed to make a huge splash. It's getting really solid reviews, so there's hope that the box office might lift back up a little bit. And so that was the weekend box office. I hope I did a good job of reporting. This is my first reporting weekend, so I promise I'll try to get better. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you subscribe to the Young Folks Official. Click to see more videos, or go to theyoungfolks.com to see more about movies, television, music, all that good stuff. I'm signing out. I'll see you guys next weekend with hopefully awesome numbers from Guardians of the Galaxy. See you guys.